On Sky News Business, this is Business Class.
Hi, I'm James Wilkinson and welcome to Business Class. Today's show is coming to you from New York City as our adventure through the Big Apple continues. Now, before we showcase some of the best hotels this city has to offer, here's this week's travel news. In travel news this week, Qantas Link's first upgraded turboprop aircraft is taken to the skies today between Tamworth and Sydney. The Dash 8 Q300 aircraft features a refreshed cabin and greater comfort for the airline's regional customers. Qantas says the fleet upgrade is part of a multi-million-dollar commitment to providing regional passengers with a better overall travel experience. The program to upgrade the fleet of 45 Bombardier Q200, Q300 and Q400 aircraft is expected to be completed by the end of 2019. Hawaiian Airlines is increasing its non-stop service between Brisbane and Honolulu up to 4 times weekly from December 10 to January 8. The airline says the added frequency comes in response to higher demand from Brisbane travellers wanting to enjoy a trip to Hawaii over the Christmas and New Year holiday break. Hawaiian's the only carrier to offer a non-stop service between Brisbane and Honolulu, and flights are operated by an Airbus A330 aircraft that features flatbed seats in business class, as well as extra comfort and main cabin. Cathay Pacific has welcomed the newest aircraft type into its fleet, the Airbus A350-1000. 8 of these aircraft will be delivered this year, with the remainder to arrive by 2021. After initial rounds of regional services, starting with the first commercial flight to Taipei on July 1, the A350-1000 will launch Cathay Pacific's new service to Washington, D.C. on September 15, which at 8,153 miles makes it the longest flight on the airline's network. In hotel news, Queensland's Sunshine Coast is set to get a new Westin resort at Coolum, following approval for a 220-room resort by Sunshine Coast Council late last week. The project is expected to be completed in 2021 and will feature a resort, spa, service apartments and extensive conference and recreational facilities. Rydges Sydney Central has just completed its multi-million-dollar renovation, which saw all 271 existing rooms upgraded and 38 new rooms and suites added to the property. Smart, energy-efficient room controls have been installed in every room, allowing sensors to track when guests enter and depart rooms and power electricity accordingly. New York City offers some of the world's best hotels, both big and small. Let's now start off our hotel tour of the Big Apple at the Four Seasons New York Downtown. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We're here at the Four Seasons New York Downtown, and what really makes this property so special in your opinion?
I mean, a lot of things make it special, but I think the one thing that really makes it different are people. You know, the staff are really unique here. They care for the guests, they care for the hotel, and they want to make sure that every single experience is memorable.
And tell us about some of the features of the hotel.
So we have many things that guests can do when they come here. First of all, I think the destination downtown is wonderful and it's an attraction on its own. But when you come to the hotel, it's really an oasis. It's quiet. You have really, even though it's in the center of New York and in a busy city, you have a beautiful spa on the 3rd floor that has a swimming pool, great treatment rooms for massage, great fitness area. So that's one. Second, we have an amazing restaurant from Wolfgang Puck, a contemporary steakhouse that is really a hot place for New Yorkers, especially for people living in Tribeca, with a great bar, so it starts really early and then you can have really a great evening. And then you have great things like room service. If you want to be just quiet in your room, you could also enjoy that.
And a wonderful residential feel in the rooms. It's a very homely feel, isn't it?
It is. The architect is Jebu and Pushelberg, and they've really done a great job where when you arrive to the room, you feel immediately at home. The rooms are not too masculine, not too feminine. The colors are very soothing. It really works well. Our guests love the rooms.
And very special standalone bathtubs in the rooms as well.
Yes, you could swim in them. How deep they are, and the beauty is that the design is really done perfectly.
You really do feel like you're in a residential apartment in these bathrooms in particular, don't you?
That's right. It doesn't feel like a hotel room at all. Straight away you arrive, you feel at home. Your apartment could look like this room, absolutely perfect. Every detail is looked after, and the bathrooms are very bright, very wide, and it's really pleasant.
And amazing technology. When you walk into your room, the blinds open up and the lights come on slowly.
That's right. Everything can be done through a remote control on the walls, but furthermore, the technology allows you also to order your food through room service on an iPad, to be able to put the do not disturb from the bed without having to walk to the door, and do the same for requesting the service.
And you've got such a great pool where you can see the Oculus when you're going for a swim.
Yes, indeed, we have a great view. The pool is on the 3rd floor, so you could enjoy the views, you could relax. The beauty is you can also swim and listen to some music, and the pool is really large.
And an ideal location for business travelers coming to New York, isn't it?
It is not only business, I mean really leisures. We have a beautiful mix. We have people from all over the world. There's a true attraction about downtown right now. You know, if you go back, downtown was where New York started, and you have a mix here of people living in New York, in Tribeca specifically, and people coming to also visit. People walk around. You have cafes, restaurants. It's really booming, but it's never overcrowded, which is really the attraction.
And a lot of great shopping down here as well, and it's
Absolutely.
Probably becoming better and better and better, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's really up to date now with the rest of New York. You have first the Oculus that opened with Westfield, with enormous space that is really fun and beautiful at the same time. Then you can cross underneath the path to go to Brookfield, which is on the other side next to the Hudson River. So all that are all space for shopping. It's really well done. You have also restaurants. You definitely don't need to go anywhere else. You have enough around. And then if you're looking for the small boutique shops, 15 minutes you're in Soho from here walking. So it's really, you can find everything in 15 minutes.
And if you want to go on for a great helicopter ride, that's just down the street too. It seems like everything is just here.
Yes, and also a lot of guests actually travel from the airport to the hotel with an helicopter and then do a 5-minute ride on a car.
Now it's time for Nesia Wilden's Foodie Files.
Thanks, James. Yes, well, the big dining news in New York was the release last week of the world's most influential restaurant guide, the world's 50 best restaurants list for 2018. As with last year, there were 4 New York restaurants in the top 50, but a couple went up and a couple went down. Most notably, 11 Madison Park, last year anointed the world's best restaurant, slipped from the top spot to number 4 after closing for a 4-month renovation last year. Going in the opposite direction was Cosme, the modern Mexican restaurant in the Flatiron building, which shot up from number 40 to number 25, narrowly beating fine diner Le Bernardin at number 26. And if you're wondering how the Aussies fared, well, we only managed one restaurant in the top 50, that's Melbourne's Attica, but it did do sensationally well, coming in at number 20, a big leap up from last year. Now to one of the most exciting restaurant openings of the year in Melbourne, that's Matilda in South Yarra, right opposite the Botanic Gardens. One of the first things you see when you walk into Matilda is fire. Actually about 3 fires, and they're all coming from the open kitchen that dominates the entrance to the long dining space. That's just what you get in a kitchen that's powered totally by fire and hot coals. That's right, no gas, no electricity, just 2 fire pits, 2 rotisserie grills and a wood-fired oven. So if you feel like you're walking into a very flash glamping site, it's probably no coincidence, because Matilda is proudly and progressively Australian, from its burnished red-brown interior and expensive use of bespoke timber to its smoke and wood-fired food from acclaimed chef Scott Pickett. The menu here just about sums up all that's good and interesting about contemporary Australian dining right now. So you can hit the beach with a dish of dressed spanner crab served in the shell with finger lime, or you can head to the outback with a plate of kangaroo tartare and fermented red peppers. But really, the one dish you must not miss at Matilda is the whole smoked duck. That's for 2 people, and it manages to combine the crispy skin of Asian-style duck with the lovely pink and juicy flesh of European-style duck. So that's Matilda. It's classy, it's sophisticated, it's dramatic, and it's hitting the bullseye with its affluent South Yarra audience. Oh, and one other thing, the restaurant is on the ground floor of a new 12-suite luxury hotel. It's called United Places Botanic Gardens, and it does sound rather nice, what with butler service and breakfast from chef Scott Pickett. I wonder if that means you get wood-fired toast. That's it from me. After the break, back to James Wilkinson in New York.
You're watching Business Class on Sky News Business. Welcome back to Business Class.
Welcome back to Business Class from New York City. One of the most iconic hotels in this city is the Plaza. It's been in Hollywood films, the host of major events and much more. Let's check in now. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We're here at one of the most beautiful hotels, not just in New York, but anywhere in the world, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. You're here at the Plaza Hotel in New York City.
And what are your favorite things about this hotel?
It's the history, honestly, and that's why a lot of our guests actually come here to this hotel to experience New York City's history, which we have a ton to do with.
And one of the most famous hotels in the world. It's been in a lot of movies. It's well known to have a lot of celebrities stay here, and it's such a beautiful, iconic hotel, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, we have, you mentioned the movies. You know, we started filming in 1959 here with North by Northwest, with a Hitchcock movie, and then from there we just added on, and the list goes on and on and on.
And the rooms are so well looked after. It's very well preserved as well.
Absolutely. The hotel went through a major restoration a few years ago, and there's a lot of focus and attention to maintain the hotel's luxurious appeal to our luxury travelers.
And you travel around a lot. You don't see a lot of hotels that have this level of heritage and history, do you?
There's definitely only a few around the world, I can tell you that, yes.
And this penthouse that we're in right now, tell us about this room.
So this is our grand penthouse suite, which is a 2-bedroom suite, a duplex suite, which has amazing Central Park views, a rooftop terrace overlooking New York City. It's about 2,500 square feet, so lots of space for a traveler who is looking for the ultimate experience, to experience the Plaza Hotel, but also New York City.
And if you look at the other caliber of rooms in the hotel, what are some of the other offerings that you have here that you're a big fan of?
What I really like on the hotel is our amazing bathrooms. They're absolutely stunning. They're simply white with the gold fixtures, and I think that's just something which really makes us stand out from all the other hotels in New York City.
And you've got a very famous bar downstairs off the lobby, don't you?
Yes, we do have a famous Palm Court with a beautiful bar in the center. Palm Court is very famous here in New York City, especially for afternoon tea too.
What are some of the great things about afternoon tea downstairs?
I think it's the atmosphere in the room. It's in the center of the hotel. It's almost like considered the center of New York. It's amazing people watching, and it's just nice to see when the guests from New York or from abroad come in and meet and enjoy afternoon tea, and just do some great people watching, to be honest.
And one of the best food courts in the city right underneath.
Absolutely, that's another unique point for this hotel. I always call it as a hidden gem, because when you're upstairs in the hotel, you wouldn't even know it exists, and you go downstairs and you have the culinary experience right there.
Do you have a couple of favorite things downstairs in the food court that you like to go down and grab?
Yes, I do enjoy Billy's Bakery, which is famous for their cupcakes.
It's always good to have something like that in the hotel. It's a very different kind of experience, because you don't have a signature restaurant in the hotel. You've got more experiences, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of history again from with those experiences. One of them is definitely Loews, which is our children's book written back in 1955.
And people must come in, and in the age of social media with Instagram and everything, and you must have 1,000 hashtags, everything from Eloise right through to Home Alone.
Absolutely. One of the famous shots is from Central Park, featuring the hotel with the park, and it's stunning.
And what do you recommend people do in the area here? Have you got a few favorite things to do if someone wants to get out of the hotel?
Absolutely. Central Park. I highly recommend to walk through Central Park along 5th Avenue, or go up to the Met, the museum, and enjoy those great exhibitions there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's now head downstairs into the Palm Court and talk cocktails with one of the best bartenders in town. What are you shaking, stirring and mixing?
Well, I came up, we do probably more Cosmos than anybody in New York. It's a classic cocktail. Pretty much revived the cocktail craze in the country, probably. I also do a drink which I'll probably make for you at some point, called the Plaza Suite, which is a drink I created on my own, which won the International Restaurant Week contest a couple months back. So people love it so much, we've incorporated it onto the menu.
So the Palm Court's known for one of the best afternoon teas in America, but also one of the best hidden bars, I think, in America as well.
I agree. We came up with a conception about 4.5 years ago to put it in a bar here. We hadn't had a bar in here in 107 years. So we finally decided to open up in the nighttime, and I would say we're probably one of the top cocktail bars in the city as far as hotel bars.
And one of my favorite cocktails is the Hemingway Daiquiri. And why is that never on a cocktail list in New York?
I think a lot of places just don't know how to make it right. First thing you need is really good grapefruit juice, for sure. I like the, I think it's one of the all-time classic rum cocktails. And also the story with Hemingway is just great with the Floridita and stuff like that. It's just something we wanted to bring back. And when we opened up the bar, it was one of our first cocktails on the list.
And it's one of many writers that obviously stayed in this hotel. Like, you've got incredible history in this hotel, don't you?
It's incredible history. I mean, we have Loews, which is still roaming the hallways. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote part of The Great Gatsby here. We've had over 85 movies filmed here. The Oak Room, which hopefully they'll get opened up at some point, is legendary, as is the Palm Court. And I would say it's the most iconic hotel probably in the world.
Down in Lower Manhattan, Conrad New York Downtown is a popular hotel for both business and leisure travellers. Let's check in now. We're at the beautiful Conrad New York Downtown, and a very popular hotel for both business and leisure travellers, isn't it?
It is, James, where during the week, of course, we're a big conference hotel and business hotel in this area downtown, so close to the financial district and the stock exchange, but also more and more a very popular hotel for the leisure guests, because there's so much to see and do in downtown now. As the Alliance say, downtown's the new up. So it definitely is.
And you look at facilities here, you've got some great meeting space as well, so obviously you're great for groups, aren't you?
We are great for groups. We're also good for social groups and weekend association groups. It's a strong business for us, and it's also a little bit more affordable for those sort of groups to come on the weekend. We're very popular with bar mitzvahs, with wedding groups as well. A lot of people stay here and either have a wedding here or in the local venues that are in the downtown area.
And a very vibrant part of town as well. You've got brand new shopping centres, you've got a lot of great bars and restaurants have been opening as well.
I think the Tribeca, Soho, West Village area is the area that most people that are interested in fashion, drinking and eating, that's where all the top leading edge places are in New York. So yes, downtown has become an area for people that really want to explore that and explore the New York that New Yorkers spend their time in. Then I think we're in a great location for that.
Little known fact, you actually have a great rooftop bar here, don't you?
Well, it's a little known fact in some circles, although Loopy Doopy is probably one of the most recognised bars in social media in North America, and we have a famous drink, the Loopy Doopy drink, which is a popsicle and Prosecco, which is on tap. We have a lot of other beautiful cocktails as well. I think it's popular because there's only 75 people up on the rooftop, and it looks straight over the Hudson River to the Statue of Liberty as well. So it's a very casual and a smaller space. So it's beautiful, and on a summer's day, at least you get a breeze close to the Hudson River.
Obviously, Conrad, very well-known brand in Asia. Not too many hotels in America here yet, but you're really one of the flagships for the US, aren't you?
We are. Conrad New York's been here since 2012. It's an all-suite hotel, so a great product. We've had our sister hotel in Chicago open a couple of years ago, and Fort Lauderdale last year, Washington, D.C. next year, and of course Indianapolis has been here for some time. But particularly in the Americas, there's a lot more in the development pipeline, and I think you'll see the Conrad brand in this part of the world will start to rival it with numbers anyway, the same as we have in Asia and the Middle East.
And if you look at the brand, it's a very good brand for business travellers as well. Very practical rooms with good desk space and all the facilities you need as a business traveller.
I think it's great for business travellers. Most of the Conrads also have good facilities for groups, as we have, but also not to forget the families. I think that Conrad is an innovative brand. We're also looking always for the next thing, what's new, and I think family travel and luxury, of course, is well established now and growing, and I think with the Conrad brand we can really do some different personalisation to make families comfortable, and a lot of our Conrads do have very large rooms, like ours is an all-suite property, so ideal for families with sofa beds, and it's easier for people to share.
Now here's our guide to some of our other favourite hotels in Manhattan. New York is home to many of the world's best hotels that can be found in small boutique buildings and big skyscrapers. Andaz Fifth Avenue has a brilliant midtown location opposite Bryant Park and the New York Public Library. Inside this 184-room hotel, you'll find spacious rooms and suites, oversized bathrooms with large showers and standalone tubs, as well as polished floorboards and a complimentary minibar with non-alcoholic drinks and snacks. A couple of blocks away at the Langham Hotel, New York, 5th Avenue, you'll find a hotel that offers residential-styled oversized rooms that come complete with Swedish Daxiana beds and rainfall showers. A number of rooms also include spacious terraces and all have fast Wi-Fi and large flat-screen TVs. Mondrian Park Avenue opened its doors in late 2017 in the thriving Nomad neighbourhood. Designed by Philippe Stark, the 189-room hotel features stylish contemporary guest rooms and suites, all of which feature plush bedding and spacious bathrooms, as well as floating desks for a versatile work and play environment. The Rydges is one of the real hidden gems in Manhattan, and you'll find the 194-room hotel on Madison Avenue in the Nomad neighbourhood. The rooms have been designed by popular interior designer Anna Buster, and many include private garden terraces. The property also features a small lobby bar and the popular breakfast pantry, which you must stop by before starting any day in New York City. Perched up on 61st Street and Park Avenue, Loews Regency New York is a 5-minute walk to Central Park and the Met. Find the impressive Regency Bar and Grill off the lobby, where glasses of rosé are served by the Peninsula and the steaks are brilliant. The hotel offers spacious rooms with oversized beds and large screen TVs, and to the delight of many, ice cream by the tub on the room service menu. After a $180 million makeover, InterContinental New York Barclay reopened in 2016 to much fanfare, following a total renovation of all 704 rooms and suites. The Federalist-style hotel dates back to 1926 and was originally built with the Grand Central Station extension. Ian Schrager's interior design at the 273-room New York addition has the feel of a private Manhattan home, thanks to the contemporary furnishings, oak floors, and oversized windows with views of Madison Square Park and the Flatiron and Empire State buildings. The Peninsula New York is one of the city's most luxurious hotels, and here you'll find exceptional guest rooms and experiences, from the cocktails at Salon de Ning to the fine dining on offer at Clermont. Well, that's it from us in New York City. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Business Class.